Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you both for coming to my tech class today. We're going to be talking about Canva, how to save your current designs in Command Designs over to Canva, and then we're going to do a quick demo on kind of how to use Canva, how to make graphics and things like that. I do want to kind of run through. So on Canva, it's how we make all of our calendars, it's how we make all of our posts, it's how we make all of our graphics for classes and things like that. So I've made multiple slideshows through this or through Canva, and then I've made all of our office meeting slides through Canva. So you can do a ton of different things with Canva. It's a really great marketing tool. You can make buyers and listing presentations. You can make videos. So just all sorts of stuff. Once you really get into Canva and start getting really familiar with it. But I want to start with kind of in regards to the new contract coming up in September on if there's any designs that are currently in designs through Command that you really like and you want to save and keep using. I'm going to show you how to save those, move them to Canva, and from there we can go ahead and like change them and that kind of thing. So as always, just stop me if you have any questions kind of throughout the process. Perfect. So I'm just going to start in designs in Command here just to show you how to transfer those over. So as you can see on my screen, I'm over here in Command and I'm just going to go over to designs. Perfect. And then over here, we're going to see all of the designs that I have made so far. And there's a few things I want to mention. So I have some newsletters saved in here, and newsletters are a different format than, let's say, your listing presentation or your social media post. So I'm not going to be transferring those over. Those are not going to be transferable, so we'll just have to recreate these when we get there. But I'm going to stick on these social media posts, and to do that, you can always filter through social or print. So if you have your listing presentation in here, you'll go to print. But I'm just going to start with social, search by that. Perfect. So now I'm just going to go into the one that I want to save. And let's say that's going to be, let's do this one. So it's just a nice coming soon post. So I'm just going to click on it. Perfect. Skip all that. And now we can kind of see the design. I'm going to let it keep loading up here with this red bar. But it should still be okay. So as we can see here, I can kind of click and change all the wording and kind of manipulate the graphic to say what I want to say through here in design. So perfect. Let's say this is the perfect design I always use for my just sold. So I want to keep this design. So I'm just going to go up here to downloads. And I want to download it as a PDF standard. That is the best way for documents and emailing, but it's also going to be the only way we can move this into Canva and still change the wording, change the address and things like that. So I'm just going to download it as a PDF standard. And I'm going to note the name up here. So it's coming soon -07 SQ. So just note that for yourself to help you remember and find it later. So I'm going to click PDF standard, download. And then we're going to see it come up to your computer downloads. So it's just right there. Now I'm going to switch over to Canva, and I will preface, this is the Office Canva, so this is Canva Pro, but I'm going to demo this because we will have access to Canva Pro with the new September contract. So I'm just going to kind of jump in and show you everything that's coming instead of the more limited free version. But to drag that new design in, I'm just going to go up to my downloads and literally drag and drop. So I'm just going to drag this. This will come up, so drop content to upload. And we're going to see that come in over here. Perfect. Now I'm going to click on it in Canva. And from here now we can see that I can still move all of these different elements. I can still change this to change this wording here and kind of keep that design alive and active moving forward. So not super difficult. It can be time consuming because you do have to do one design from designs at a time. So just yeah, carve out a good hour for that if you have a lot of designs that you like. Just make sure you get those saved sooner rather than later, just because our contract with Rebrand, who is the one who hosts designs, is ending. And so if anything goes wonky, they're not going to fix it. So just get in there and get those things that you have to have saved. I would recommend today, and just getting that done. But any questions about how to save those designs from designs?
No.
Perfect. Awesome. Sounds good. So that's not too complicated. They made that pretty easy, thankfully. So that's really good. But now I'm just going to go back to the home page here in Canva. And have either of you used Canva a lot in the past or recently?
No.
I used a little bit with your assistance back in October, November,
Mm-hmm.
using the marketing pieces that you had made for us. I can't remember where you were posting those.
Perfect. Awesome. Nope, that sounds great. So, I will definitely cover that just so everybody's aware of kind of the templates we make for the office. But I'm gonna start. So that sounds great. I'm just gonna start like round one. Um, how to use Canva, what can it do, and how to use it pretty effectively. So that sounds great. So when you first log into Canva, this is kind of what you're going to see. You're not going to see as many recent designs just because I use this every day. So this will probably be blank for you, but this is where they keep kind of the design bank, is what I like to think of it as. So anything that you worked on in the past, will be right here. But up here we see a bunch of different little colored bubbles. And kind of what that means is it's the most used kind of size templates that people use Canva for. So, for example, Instagram post, which is still a square, so that needs updated because Instagram posts have changed their dimensions, but Instagram, a flyer, so just a nice 8.5 by 11 sheet. A Facebook post, which is landscape, so it's just kind of like letting you know, hey, here's some quick um, templates to choose from based on what you're designing. So documents, whiteboard is different. It's like you can like draw on it. It's more used for teams. So you probably won't use that a ton. Presentation, so this is how I make the office slides. I just click in here and go from there. Social media, so this is kind of more social media that's not linked up here. So think LinkedIn, think the new Instagram size, think Instagram stories are up here. So just kind of social media, everything. Photo editor, you can edit photos in here, and video, as I've said before. Print, so those can be more brochures, that can be flyers, kind of anything you're going to print, business cards, um, all that kind of stuff. Website, so if you're creating graphics for websites, that'll be right here. And then custom size, this is really nice for Eventbrite because Eventbrite is not one of your social media platforms, or it's not something that Canva was like, oh, a lot of people are doing this, so we're going to make it a template. You can make custom sizes. So we're like, oh, I need something that's really long and short. You can create that in here as well, which is really nice. Um, and kind of up here, so I'm under the templates, so that's kind of why we're seeing all these different templates. Your design, so this is obviously just going to be everything that you've created, and you can search by name just to kind of help you search through everything, because if you'll get like this where you have a ton of different stuff in your Canva, so it'd be helpful just search by name, but just stuff that you've created. And then here are all the different templates. So this is very similar to the one in Canva. This just sold, we are hiring, things like that. So just kind of helping you get started with creating designs. And then Canva AI, I have not used this a ton, but you can use it to generate different images. So we can like run through that in a little bit, but that's kind of more advanced Canva versus the basic that we're going to cover today. Perfect. So that's kind of the home screen here. And then over here, we do have some options as well. So create, that's when you're going to start creating a design. Home, just the home page. So kind of back where we were. Projects. So you can put your projects into different folders. So I have all the business cards that we create in one folder, the fall festival marketing in one folder. So just kind of keeping yourself organized this way. And just kind of saving things in different spots just to kind of um, keep yourself organized and you're able to find things a little bit quicker. Templates, very similar to that on that homepage. So business, social media, Instagram post, your story, flyers, so just kind of different templates, different sizes. Um, and another way to find basically all these templates. So it's kind of like a repeat, but if that's how your brain works, this is here as well. So mobile video, certificates, all that kind of stuff. So just kind of a different way to search through these templates. Brand. So this is with Canva Pro, and you can go in and kind of set your brand features, which are different text that you really like, your colors, your logo, things like that. So you're just kind of putting in your information here just to keep it easy to find. That is a pro feature, so I won't dive into this super or a ton, but you can kind of set different brand kits and things like that. So you can see Capital Partners is right here. Here's all of our logos, here's all of our approved colors in our fonts and things like that. So it's just kind of building out your brand in Canva, which is really nice. And you can click through. So logos, colors, it helps you kind of build through all of that. Canva AI, so this is that same kind of toggle as this button up here. So I'm not going to dive too much into this, but this is really fun. If you're ever bored and be like, okay, I want to go in and generate a house with rain boots, like you can totally do that in here. So just play around as you see fit.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, what's up?
Uh, where can we get logos and things like that for our use?
I will show you that. That is on our website, but I can
Okay.
also just send them over to you. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Terrific.
Different apps too. So these are kind of like plugins. So if you want to put your Google Photos, kind of you're connecting things on the back end is basically what apps are doing. This is probably going to be paid even with the pro version. So just kind of look through and see um, what you need, what you're looking for, all that kind of stuff. And if there's a free way around it, which there probably is. But if it's something you're going to use all the time, it might be worth it to look through these. But this is kind of a nice extra. Perfect. So that's kind of the main tools and setup of Canva. And now I kind of want to dive into just creating a nice post and walking through the different elements on how you can choose a template and then change the colors, change the fonts, all that kind of stuff, just so you can see um, kind of how easy it is. It really is super easy once you get into it and kind of start moving things around. Lori, I know you use a ton of Canva, so um, oh, a little bit? Okay. Well, you're gonna be a pro anyway.
Yeah,
Uh,
I got really comfortable using Command.
did you?
So
Okay.
yeah, so yeah, there's a few differences in Canva, but in some
Hmm.
ways it's a lot easier. It's a little more
Yes,
intuitive, I think.
it really is. I agree with that. There's some nuances that are going to be different, but you're like, oh, I wish I could just click here and move this. Like you're going to be able to do that here, which is really nice. And the zoom in feature is a lot better. So, um, for that smaller text, but perfect. So I'm just going to start a Facebook post just to kind of demo how you would use this. So let's say I want to make a Facebook post for, my, let's say, listing or maybe my open house that's coming up this weekend. So that's when I want to make a post about. So, and I want to post it on Facebook. So always come to Canva with where you're going to post it. That's where you need to start because it is a pain to resize anything kind of once you get started. So I want to make a post on Facebook about my open house. So I'm going to start with the Facebook landscape size template.
Now, if we don't have Pro, how do
Mhm.
we get to that? I think there's another way for us to get to that Facebook post because it's not on our home. You're on home, right?
Yes, I'm on the homepage.
All right.
Hmm.
So that doesn't show up as an option, but I think it was someplace else, maybe in Create or like if I want to get to the, let me see,
Hmm.
Create.
Facebook template. I mean, you can always search to Facebook post.
Uh-huh. Well, all right. Well, then what would I, if I'm in home and I want to do a Facebook, like what would my alternate be? Doc or
No, go to social media. Do you have social media?
um yes, I do. Okay, so
Perfect.
social media. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead
So
and
we
click in there. And then
gotcha.
up at the
Okay.
top, you should see Facebook or Instagram, LinkedIn, things like that.
Yeah, got it. Got it.
Perfect. And then you'll want
All
to do
right.
landscape. So make sure you're not doing the cover or the ad or anything like that, because then it
Got
won't
it.
fit. So we're going to do the
Got it.
landscape.
Okay, cool.
Perfect. Awesome, awesome. And then this screen, I like to think of it as like the design center. So up here we can name it. And I always recommend naming your post as you're gonna find it. So I'm just gonna say 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 Main Street, and then open house. So that's gonna make it really searchable once you guys have a lot of designs and you're, okay, I've got 3 open houses, which address was it again, and all of that. So just keeping that organized from the get-go is gonna help you guys a lot in the future. So go ahead and name it up there. And now we kind of have a different toolbar over here. We have more design elements. So I'm going to jump into this first one. It's called Designs. And this comes up with a bunch of different templates that we can use. So it might be more limited on the free version, but once that September kind of date hits and you have that new contract, you'll have access to all of these pro different templates. But on the free version, you might just have to make some work just for now. But I'm just gonna go through here and you can see recently used ones that I've chosen or different templates that you like. So you can just kind of look through and see if there's anything that stands out, anything you like. But you can also go up here to the top to this search bar and just put in real estate. And I'm just gonna put that in and hit enter. And now it's going to come up with a bunch of those templates that you've probably seen. It just kind of helps you, okay, like with real estate, we're probably going to want post pictures of the house. We want it to look unique and things like that. So now we can kind of click through and see, oh, we even have an open house one kind of ready to go. So we can even put that in the search bar. So open house, real estate open house is what I'm going to search for. And now we have a ton of different options. So I'm just going to look through here and see which one I want to use. And you don't have to look for, like, let's say your colors are blue and pink. You don't have to look for something that's blue and pink because we can change that later on. So I'm going to look through here. And let's say I like this one. I like this picture. It fits with my kind of marketing goals. It made me stop and look at it. So that's kind of how I know that it is eye-catching. So I'm going to grab this one. Perfect. Awesome. So now I have kind of a nice place to start. So open house, join us. We can say the date and time. And you edit the wording in here by double clicking on the wording box. So double click and now it's blue highlighted. That lets me know, oh, I can type now. So I'm going to say August 8th from 2 to 4 p.m. 1, 2, 3, 4 Main Street. And then your phone number right there. And now we can put your email address as well. It's kcp@kw.com. And then if you have your website, you can also put that here. But I'm just going to take that out. Perfect. So just by double clicking on this text, I'm able to go in and put my details in there. And now obviously we want to change out this back photo, right? Because I'm not doing an open house of this very 70s kind of salt room looking thing. So we're not going to do that. But so now I'm just going to click on the whole thing and see how the whole box is purple. That lets me know I've got the background. So I'm just going to delete. I just hit delete on my keyboard. So that got rid of that photo. And I'm just going to choose a photo from something that they have, but you can upload photos super easily. Just kind of how we uploaded that graphic from Designs. You're just going to pull it right over. Or you can upload files and you're going to search your computer. So I know a lot of people have like listing kind of folders on their computer. So you would just find that like normal and pull it in. For example, I'll just do this one. So website photos. This is the photo of the open house I want to use. Double click. it's going to come into kind of my photos section over here. I can click it and it's ready to go. But I'm going to choose something a little bit different. So that's kind of how you can bring in your own photos and upload them. Um,
So you clicked on uploads, and that's how you got that menu of photos.
exactly, yep. So just uploads. If I want to put my own picture in there, uploads, and then you'll go up here, upload files.
I
Then
see.
it opens your computer kind of finder, and then you can click any photo that you would like. And then I'll just hit open. And then we can see it loading up over here. And then you'll just click uploads again, and it'll be right here. And you just click it, pops right over. And now I can move it all around, change the size, and even change the color. Maybe. Maybe not. Never mind, can't change the color. But you can move it all around and change the size. So perfect. And then so that's kind of how you bring in your own photos. If you are making a different type of post, let's say you're making more of a social media graphic about um like something you're not doing, but kind of like, oh, like here's my best organization tip, and but you want like a nice background, I'm just gonna go over here to elements, which is right under designs, and I'm gonna search up here for nice house. So that's what I want a picture of. And I'm just gonna hit enter. And then up here we see all different types of types of media. So we have graphics, photos, videos, audio, frames, shapes, mock-ups, charts, all that kind of stuff. But I want to go to photos because that's what I'm looking for, just a nice photo of a house. I'm going to click there. And now I can use any of these pictures. So we have there's a nice interior kitchen. So let's say if I want to use this one. Um, or there's a nice staircase. So I'm just clicking and they're just popping up right over here. Perfect. And let's say, I don't want to use that one, but I want to use this nice kitchen. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to use this one, decided that, but now I want to put it on the background, right? I want it kind of all around here like the last photo was. I'm going to right click on it, and then all of these options come up. So copy, that's copy and paste, duplicate, if you want another picture, and then delete, you can delete it this way. Um, and all of this, like locking it means you won't be able to move it. Linking it, you're going to link it to something people can click on and go to a website, um, and that kind of thing. You're not going to use a bunch of these options a ton, but you'll probably do copy and duplicate and things like that. But down here we see replace background, and that's how I want to stick it to the background. So I'm just going to click that, and then it's going to take over that whole kind of screen there, whole kind of image. Um, any questions about how I've kind of manipulated anything so far? It doesn't seem too hard, right?
Not so bad so far.
Yeah, good, good, good.
You haven't lost me yet,
Perfect. That's
but
what we're looking for.
you will.
Maybe this is so coming up is kind of one of my favorite design tricks. Because we can see this back picture is really nice, but the wording is now hard to see, especially up here. This kind of house disappears into this light right here. So something I like to do to kind of make the wording stand out a little bit more is I'm going to go back over to elements, and I'm going to click out of nice house because I've gotten my nice house photo. I don't need another one. And now up here, kind of the first thing to pop up is shapes, which is exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm going to click square. And then we see all, again, like shapes, graphics. What is a photo of a square? Oh, things like that. So anything to do with a square that Canva has will pop up here. But I'm looking for a graphic, or a shape, excuse me. Um, so I'm going to click my nice square over here. That'll pop up right here. And now I want to make it, I like this color brown. I think it goes well with the overall kind of tone, but I'll show you how to like change that and go for a different tone. But now I'm going to do something that might seem a little weird at first, is I'm just going to cover the whole image with the brown square or whatever is behind it. So there's different layers on your designs, and I'll get to that. But so now I've got the whole thing kind of covered and I want to put it behind all of the wording. So I've kept it highlighted and we can tell because it's got that purple box around it. I'm going to go up here to this toolbar, which is where you can edit a lot of different things. So this is where you change the font size right here, the color, make it bold, italic, that kind of thing. So very similar to like an email kind of editor until we get over here, right? So I'm going to change the position first, and this is where it kind of gets into layers. And as you can see, so down here it's the background, right? So that's going to be on the bottom because it's the layer on the bottom. And I put this open here, but as we can see, we can't see it right now because it's under this brown square, meaning it's going to be underneath it and we can't see it right now. And I want to put this brown square under everything but the background. And there's a few different ways to do that. So I got to this screen by hitting positions and going to layers. And now I can drag this down so that it is under everything but the background. Does that make sense? Okay, perfect. And so now the problem is now I can't see the nice background picture. So I'm going to go up here to transparency, click that, and I'm going to drag it down. So now that wording stands out a little bit more, but we can still see the open house like picture behind it. And you can kind of play with that and see like how dark you need it to make the word stand out. And I'd say that's good because I can still see open house, but still see the nice photo in the back. So I'm going to say that's good. But let's say like, okay, I just want this to be like have that background behind it. You can click and drag that up. So it looks like that. Or now let's say this is really hard to see. I'm just going to click the square. I'm going to right click, duplicate, and drag that down. But now we can see, oh, my wording is behind that transparent square. So I'm going to go back to positions and I'll see it here at the top. I'll just drag it down here. So now it's behind everything. Perfect. Any questions about that? That is a more advanced kind of few different steps there, but I think it looks nice and I think it adds a little bit of something to it. So I do think that is one of my favorite things to do. You guys have seen me do it on different things that I've sent out to the office before. So that's one of my favorite things to do. Any questions? Did I lose you? Did I lose you, Michael?
Partially. I mean,
Partially.
I understand the position thing. That was a new, uh, idea, and I see how you can move those things around. And so I'll definitely have to be able to play with that and kind of figure it out.
Perfect. Yeah, this is definitely a practice makes perfect kind of tool. Um, and again, like you don't have to do all of that to your image. You can just keep it how it was, throw your photo in there and you're good to go. So, definitely showing you a lot of what it can do, but you don't have to get this into it and like dive completely into it.
Yeah. I mean, another option would have just been to change the color of the lettering, right? I mean, maybe make it bolder or something along those lines.
Exactly. Very true. Yep. So if I want to, and I think you guys saw how to do that, but I'll just do it for an example. So I'm going to click on this open right now, but I'm going to click once because if I click twice, that's telling it, hey, I want to change the type. Click once to select it. Go up here, text color. Your color palette will come up. If you have that brand section set up, that's where your colors will be right here. But if not, you can just choose kind of their colors down here or make a custom color. But yep, click the color that you want, make it a little bit darker, and now you can change the color of the wording. Yep, 100%. Perfect. But let's say I change something and then I don't like it. You can go back, and that is just this back arrow up here, just an undo, and we'll change it back. So that's kind of nice. Perfect. But that's kind of how you get in here and manipulate a graphic and kind of make something like this. Now, unless there's any more questions, I'm going to dive into kind of the templates that we have on our KW Hub, and how to use those, how to get those into here. If you guys are ready.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
So let's say, for example, that you wanted to change that background to a different photo, and how do you get it to just replace it to the exact size without like positioning it over the old one? I think I'm a little bit lost on that concept.
Okay, no problem. So yeah, we'll run through that. So let's say, okay, ends up I don't like this kitchen picture. I'm going to go to Elements to search for a new photo. I'm going to click in here, and I'm going to search again for just a nice house. And then since there's no shapes of a nice house, I'm going to get sorry we couldn't find that, but just move over to photos and it'll pop up. So now let's say I want to do the outside, which is this. So I'm just going to click it. It'll pull it right over here. And now to get it to fit to the background without having to like, oops, well, do that and move everything over and change my whole design and make it bigger and smaller, I'm just going to right click with my mouse and replace background. I'm going to click that.
Okay.
And now it's just come right over. Yep.
Okay.
But let's say it came in like that, right? And obviously it's not center. Just double click the background. You'll get this kind of screen here for cropping, but you'll just move it over so it's center and click done. And now it's in the center, but usually it will come in the center, but just in case it doesn't. But perfect. Does that answer your question?
It does in that particular case. If there's multiple photos, I haven't quite figured out how to like, select a photo and then if there's say four photos on that particular thing, um, I don't know how to direct it to one particular picture, but maybe in another
Gotcha.
example if it comes across. And the other question I would have is if I'm doing an open house uh, flyer, I'm going to want to use obviously pictures from that listing. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
just going to have to go to, what is it, Elements, and then just go into my file of photos
You're
for that
wanna
particular
gonna want to go to uploads
uploads. That's it. Okay.
and then upload your files. And then here's where you're gonna find where you have all those listing photos saved.
Yeah. Yes.
And then you'll click it and drag it in. Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Perfect. Yes. And I can get to the multiple photos one. I've got a few templates like that, that I'll show you guys, and then we can kind of look at that.
Okay.
So I'm going to close this menu. So if this ever gets stuck like this and you're like, well, I don't want to design on a third of my screen, just close the menu up here. That took me a long time to find, embarrassingly. So I want to show you guys. So there we go. But perfect. So awesome. And then I'm going to run through downloading this just so you guys can see what that looks like. So perfect. I've got this ready to go. I'm ready to post it, but I want to go to File, Download from this little drop down here, Download. And then we see different options on how we want to download it. I recommend PNG if you're going to put it on social media, PDF if you're going to be emailing it, PDF print if you're going to be printing it. So just kind of look at the options here. But I'm just going to stick with PNG and hit download. And now it's going to go to my downloads and I'm ready to use it, post it on Facebook like I would any other photo. So perfect. Awesome. So now I'm going to get out of here. So I'm done with this one. So I'm just going to go to the hamburger button on the left-hand side and go home. And that takes me back to kind of my design center. Perfect. Awesome. And now I'm going to show you guys kind of where we keep a bunch of different templates. So if you're not aware, on our kwcp274.com, or also known as the hub, the office creates 12 different templates every month for you guys to use through Canva. So you get there by going to the hub, and we see that here. And I'm going to go to social media. And now we see free social media templates. And I have a bunch of different ones as well. So just for sale, just listed, under contract, just sold. There's about 6 different templates in these alone for you guys to go in and use. Those are pretty, like they're just set up and ready to go for you. And then app promotion, postcards, just a bunch of different templates on here. If you're ever bored, just come in and kind of look and see. So business flyers, but postcards, things like that. So just different resources here for you guys. And then a couple months ago, we had Rachel Adams-Lee. She's a rock star at social media, and she's an agent here at KW. I'm not at this office, but she's with Keller Williams. And she came in and did a 2-hour class for us. And so the recording is right here. Social media guide, so kind of what she gave us to go with her presentation. And then it was 2 hours, so I broke it down into a slideshow, kind of with the highlights. So you can click through and go through that right here. But over here is where we keep all the templates. And here's kind of short instructions right here. So click the button above to get access to social media templates that are ready to be posted. We create these to help agents stay on track with their social media goals. You will need a free Canva account to access these. Just sign up at canva.com. So just kind of showing you, telling you what you need to do. To answer a previous question, right here, I do have KWCP logos download. So you'll just click here, it'll download to your computer, and you'll have a bunch of our different logos. So that can be found right here. And then here's all of our past templates. We're almost at a year. So next month, I'm creating the ones for August right now. So we'll have a full year of templates for you guys to go back and use. I just keep them here. I mean, they're created, might as well just have you guys keep using them. So they're all right here, but I'm going to click into, and I'll put the newest ones here at the top. So I'm going to click into July's templates. So you can see kind of what that looks like. So I'm going to click here. Yep. It's loading. Perfect. Oh, that did not do, I have these open already, so that did not do what I wanted to do. So I'm going to click on a different one. Let's see, December. Perfect. So this is what is going to pop up when you click on those. So a template was created by Agent Services is now shared with you. So this is what you're going to see. So now I'm just going to click View Template. It might also say Use Template. So just kind of whatever one pops up. Click the purple bar at the bottom, basically. So I'm going to click here and then open an editor. And now we can go in and see all the different templates that we have available. These are for December, so we're going to see some Christmas posts, but hey, Christmas in July. So perfect. Awesome. So these are kind of 12 different templates that are ready to go. A nice thank you, introduction, sold. I'm going to find one with multiple photos, if there is one. Okay, this one. So perfect. So awesome. I've clicked into the templates and I'm like, okay, I want to make an interior design post using this graphic, but I want to change out these photos and they're all different sizes, right? And I don't want to have to resize all of my pictures. So to do that, these are in what are called frames. So I can click here in this photo and delete it. And we're going to see this nice like cloud and green grass background. That's what a photo frame is. So, and now I can drag and drop any image into this box and it's going to size it for me, which is really nice. So I'm going to do that for all of these. Just delete, 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 and delete. And now I want to drop in my own design photos. So I'm going to go back to Elements and I'm going to search interior designs. Oops. Maybe home decor. That'll work too. Perfect. So home decor. And then I'm going to go over to photos and just kind of see the different options. So let's say I want to start with this bedroom photo. So I'm just going to drag it. I'm going to click and drag from the photos holder and move it to one of the frames. And we're going to see it kind of pop into it and automatically size it. So I'm just going to drop it in there and that's done. Perfect. And to do that, and I'm just going to fill all of these photo frames. So I'm going to drag and drop this nice like bathroom photo. And we can do a living room one. And then doorway, or nice, oh, another living room.
And if I'm uploading from my files, will it drag and drop the same way?
Yes, yep, it
Okay.
will.
Okay.
So let's say I'll even go to, so here's my upload. So these are a bunch of different photos that I've put in here. So I've got some headshots and things like that. So let's pull this one in here. So this, let's say like this is an image that I want to put in my graphic. I'm just going to drag and drop and put it in there. You will notice that like since this is more like square and this is a longer rectangle, it's not going to be perfect. So you do kind of want to try to match it up. So if it's taller, let's put Tanya's headshot somewhere. If it's taller, you do kind of want to put it in an up and down kind of box, or if it's more horizontal, just look at that more landscape and just try to make it work the best you can. Um, but yeah, it'll resize kind of any image that you have. Perfect.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
Let's say this is for a Facebook post, and I want to put my name on the bottom, my name and logo on the bottom. Could you just kind of briefly show me how to do that?
Yes, absolutely. So awesome. Yep. So I'm going to get rid of that logo. And perfect. Let's say, yep, exactly like that. You want to put your name on the bottom, but there's not a current place to do it. You're going to come over back to this left-hand toolbar and go to text. And over here is a bunch of different options. So now I can add a text box. If you have that brand set up, it'll be your preferred fonts right here. And then there are kind of like font combinations. So you can do kind of all of this um, different like fun things. But I'm just going to stick to a normal text box. So I'm going to click this, add a text box. We'll see that pop up right here. I'm going to drag it down. And then I'll put, and then double click into that box so you can start typing. Perfect. So then you'll just type in your name. And let's say I don't like this font. So I'm going to come up here to this little toolbar up here, click font, and then choose a font that I like. So that's how you would add your name. And now for the logo. So the logo, at least how ours work currently, is a photo. So the logo is a photo. So it's going to be in your uploads. And hopefully it'll be closer up than mine. I just have so much uploaded in here. Let's see. Scroll until I find it.
So if I want to put the logos into Canva, I'm going to probably
Mhm.
download the logos you have and then upload them into Canva.
Perfect. Yep. And we can see it over here. So it'll kind of pop in like this. So like one of those longer um, photos basically. And I'm just going to click it. It's going to pop up over here. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, and by dragging in the corners, making it a little smaller, and then putting it on there. And now you're good.
Great, thank you.
Yes, sir. Awesome. One other thing I do want to point out on all of our templates in the notes section, so this little note button, I put captions and hashtags for everyone. So I try to make it as easy as possible, like as ready to post as possible. So here's a suggested caption. So you can literally just copy this and paste it for your Facebook caption. So just something I want to make sure you guys are all aware of. But, and then as you scroll, it'll change caption based on what kind of graphic you're looking at. So this one changed to um, experience the season of magic in Columbus, so winter and all that stuff. So just captions for you guys. Oh, perfect. Awesome. Well, we covered a lot. Do you guys have any questions or anything you want me to run back through? Um, or do you guys feel confident like, oh, okay, Canva's not so bad?
I feel a lot more confident. I think every time I go through, I get a little bit more comfortable, but I definitely feel more comfortable after walking through with my computer here so I can kind of copy some of the things. When's the next time you're going to hold this class? Next Wednesday? Or
Um, I do not currently have this class on the schedule again, but I'd be happy to do like a Canva second part or kind of next section a next can't talk a next session about Canva, just diving deeper into it, especially as we get closer to that launch. So I'd be happy to do it again if this was really helpful. So
Could
it
we
was.
possibly do like an in-person workshop or something with this to
oh
get some hands-on?
yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes I learn better if I'm actually doing it and I can have somebody help me through it.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, I can definitely get that on the calendar in August. We can totally do that.
That'd be great.
Awesome.
Sounds great.
Sounds good. Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you guys for attending my class tomorrow or class today. I really appreciate it.
Thank
Are you
you.
guys all aware of Rachel's class that's happening tomorrow? It is about sales and contingencies,
Yep.
listings, and things like that. It's at 11, in person only. So make sure you guys register and here for that. But
Awesome.
awesome.
Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you
Thanks,
guys. Have a great
Ashley.
rest of your afternoon.
You too.
See ya.
Thanks. Bye.